Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it on Steam. And on the last Let's Play, we came to town and met with Damek. I'm getting better at learning names. Kinda, at least in this game. And they introduced us to the morale system, which I'm not sure if that's affected by my two choices so far. Why does it have the that thing there? Oop, did I get stuck? No? Okay. Then yeah. I feel a bit worried because usually when you play games maybe like this, and it's at the low end of the spectrum, you build it up. When it starts at the high end of the spectrum, I feel like that's just a bunch of things that's going to be chipped away over time. Anyways, let's talk with Flirty Boy. Heart to Heart 2, Fontaine. There's Fontaine standing at one of the market stalls, enthralled, even though he got swindled. Take a few steps forward and see what he's looking at, and nobody follows me. It seems they're willing to give us some time alone, now that we're in Museo.
Hey, Cirrus! Check this out!
It's a thing? He points to a bunch of strange metal objects attached to ropes. Metal objects attached to ropes. If I could describe them as anything, it would be metallic claws. I have no idea what they are, or why he's taken by them.
You know, when I climb trees, it's hard to get a grip. But with these, I can just stab them into the tree and hold on. I didn't know these existed. It would make things so much easier.
Do you think we'll be needing to climb trees in the war? Shovel's in place thinking to himself.
You don't think that would hurt the trees, do you?
I mean, it depends on the claw and the size of the tree. I mean, people use them to climb trees, and I'm pretty sure that you can have crampons and stuff. I'm not a horticulturist, but I think, they're generally fine, Right?
Awesome! That's what I thought. I'll have to make money somehow, and save up. This will make climbing the Grand Tree a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that thing, as long as there's an, I don't know, herbicide at the end of those things, I think you're pretty fine. It's a humongous tree. I don't think you would be able to even penetrate the larger bark, into the more fleshier part of the tree. He leans a bit close to the market stall, looking for a price.
And of course, there's no price on them. Probably so they can scam people too. I'll have to get Ulrich to figure this out.
He smiles and laughs softly, before turning to face me. I mean, you could always put a mental note on what the price is by asking them.
You know, these markets are pretty cool. What do you think about them, Cirrus?
This choice will permanently alter your relationship with Fontaine. You're pretty awesome, yeah. Great place to have a first date, I think. Way too many people for my liking. I just wish our parents were here with us. Jeez, downer. Oh, our first date. Like, I like being flirty. That said, I'm not really wanting to bang him. Like, if I was jokingly saying this, maybe. Let's just keep with this. Pretty awesome.
Just a bit crowded, though. And I did want to have some private time. Hey, follow me. I have an idea, Cirrus.
Okay. You're gonna bring me to an alley for a good time? He grabs an apple out of his pocket, gives me a sly smirk. It's the one Ulrich brought for him. Bought for him? He must not have eaten it yet. As he runs away, I follow him, and we end up in a nearby back alley. Oh,
See? Much better. I can actually hear myself think now. Let's grab a seat and relax. We deserve it.
No, that doesn't sound like a good idea. running away from everybody, back alley. He was on the ground. It didn't seem comfortable, but it will do. I sit down and rest my back against the wall. He promptly sits down beside me. Holding out the apple, he inspects it, almost like he's a bit hesitant to eat it.
I wonder if it'll taste like I remember. It's only been around 20 years after all. Hey, let's share it. You should try some too.
Okay. He stares directly at the apple, watching it glisten in the sunlight.
I'm kinda scared to eat it. I'm worried it might not live up to my memories. Things don't usually work out that way. Why should this?
He shrugs, then looks up at me.
Here goes nothing?
Sure. He raises up to his mouth and takes a large bite. Shaking with excitement, juices run down his chin. So just like the time I first ate like an apricot or a peach or something like that, holy moly, those things were gushing. It was just like, I'm gonna need several napkins. I can tell that's just as good as he remembers.
Wow. You have got to try this, Cirrus.
It was uncomfortably wet. He holds it up, offering it to me, his hands practically shaking. I grab it from him, and expect it. It's incredibly soft and juicy. They must have grown this differently in order to make it special. I wonder why the Triumvirate would ban this from trade. You'd think it'd be a carpet ban, right? Like, nothing specific, right? We'll have to see. Seems harmless, and I can't remember the last time Fontaine was so happy. Take a bite. With a loud crunch and start chewing. Sweetness is overwhelming. I always doubted how good this apple would be. Fontaine really talked it up. There's always worry in the back of my mind that it wasn't really that good. However, after finally tasting it, I know it's unequivocally wrong. It was amazing.
See? I told you! I can't believe I'm eating this again. I just wish my parents could be here.
I hand him back the apple, and we slowly take turns eating it. Like an indirect kiss. Ooh, woo. Minutes later, only the tiny core remains. We really went into town on it. Placing it down to his side, Fontaine rests against the wall, sighing.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Cirrus. Actually, thanks for hanging out with me at all. I know there's so much to do. I'm really honored.
He smiles before standing back up. I do as well. There's no point in this quest if we couldn't have fun along the way. Our bond would flourish, even during war. That was an incredible friendship.
Back to business, I guess? But mark my words, I'm gonna get that climbing gear. And a second set, too. I'll make an apprentice out of you yet.
He smirks and runs back out to the markets. I follow after him, and we regroup with everyone else. It was a nice distraction, but it was time to get our things back on track. It was really weird that we just went into an alleyway, ate an apple, came back out, and everybody's like, oh, okay. Even after they're like, hey, you guys are important, don't disappear to places. Bah.
Hey.
Hey. What can you tell me about yourself? We're gonna spend the rest of the Let's Play here.
Well, it all depends on what you'd like to know. I mean, I'm an open book, but I don't know where to start. Feel free to throw a few questions at me. I'll play along.
Okay. How old are you?
27. Not too young, not too old. I'm in the perfect place to be leading this army. A lot of the other victims were far younger than me. And those that weren't were far older. They took on more of a caregiver role. Plenty of orphans needed plenty of parents.
It wouldn't be anime without orphans. When did you join the rebellion?
I must have been 6 or 7 years old. A lot of the details are like a blur in my head. Maybe my mind did that on purpose, you know. But I was rescued by a small group of townspeople. After the battle died down, they started picking up the scraps. The rebellion wasn't formed just yet. That was just starting. Salus, the previous elder of Valinor, came to visit. The treaty and the rebellion were formed shortly after. I had no place to go. And no family. I was forced to fight. But that's not really a bad thing, you know. I'm pretty strong now. Trained for almost any scenario. I just wish I didn't have to miss out on a regular childhood.
Are you seeing anybody? Wink, wink.
Oh, of course not. I don't have time for that. I mean, maybe when this war is over or something, but right now, I'm far too busy with everything else.
I feel like sometimes you're, too busy for that stuff and, don't have time for it. Or you're the type, if you're a leader, you're the type person that's like having several pieces on the side.
And truth be told, I wouldn't even know where to start. The orphans of the occupation were taught war, not love. Other than fighting this battle, I'm not meant for much else.
We need to get your thing wet. What are your hobbies?
I don't really have time for hobbies, to be honest. Unless the war table or sparring counts as hobbies. After this war, maybe I'll pick up a few pastimes. But right now, I really don't have the time. I've been training and working since I was a kid. They had no hesitation in letting a child wield a sword.
What can you tell me about the rebellion?
Well, almost everything, I'd assume. I was one of the founding members with Salus. I guess they like that term more than child soldier.
It's glad that you're able to tell this all out in the open in the market. Tell me about your new HQ. Where are the coordinates? Where are the entrances? How many guards are there?
When the Triumvirate took over Mazio, they had one goal. Dig deep underground and find the true spirit idol of this nation. They made their honor guard do this, those empty suits of armor. But while they dug, they also created a sort of barracks down there. I'm not sure why, because the honor guard couldn't make use of it. But I'm assuming it was for when real people came for inspections. Either way, they basically turned it into a paradise. Beds, weapons, training rooms, a war table, everything. When I first saw it, I knew I had to win it for the rebellion. Thankfully, Grizz had been turning to our side. It wasn't hard to woo over the mayor and get the deed. His only condition was that he got access to the idol first. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it, but he can't really do anything if I'm honest. Not without you or the Blade of Exodus.
Tell me about your previous leader.
Salus? Well, he was a father figure to a lot of us. That's probably why his sacrifice hit us all so hard. You do remember that he was the elder of Valenorth, right? It's not like he took on a secret double life, he was still the same. If anything, at least now you have an explanation for his trips. He was helping out the rebellion and Valenorth. That's a tall order.
Tell me more about how it was formed.
Salus saw the chaos and destruction in Mazio and wanted to help. In fact, even some people from Valenorth were here during the occupation. He likely discovered what happened by inquiring after their disappearance. Either way, he quickly met with a band of survivors and orphans. Offering them funding and protection, the seeds were planted. They became an organization with a goal. They had a purpose. Salus likely knew that Valenorth would be occupied as well, so training an army to enact revenge would benefit both nations. They established Peregrino as a central location, and here we are. Over the next 20 years, the orphans grew stronger. As soon as we were battle-ready, we launched the Exodus Raid. Salus told me more about you, and I took over when he passed.
I wonder how they funded, feeding, clothing, housing all these, war orphans. If their only thing was, learning how to fight.
Several hundred, but under 1,000. We're a fully realized army, and I know we can do this. With you and that blade, our victory is pretty much secured.
How many members there? How is troop morale?
It's wonderful. Everybody is in a great mood. We have the numbers and the strength to put up a fight. But on top of that, we have you and the Blade of Exodus.
Big warning, Bro wrote in his thing maybe in the future that things might not go so well.
When you're trained with it, you can lead the final battle. That blade isn't just a weapon, but a symbol of hope. It sets us apart from every previous insurrection. With its power, you'll be unstoppable. I hope you're ready to go down in history as a hero. The woman who changed Alestia forever.
Boop. What can you tell me about the Triumvirate?
We don't know too much about them, to be honest. They're shrouded in mystery and only rule from their chambers. We've tried to coax them out, but so far nothing has worked.
Wasn't your plan to bring him here to do the thing? Oh, hopefully they don't do the things that they've been doing all the other times. You know where they came from?
Not a clue. It's anyone's guess. Hopefully we'll find some answers after all this is over. There's got to be some record of their past, right? At least that's what I'm hoping for. But I'll have to be content if we never find out. My main goal is liberating Alestia and gaining freedom.
Do you know how old they are?
At least as old as Alestia, or something like that. History seems to have begun when they did. Either that or they covered up the past. There's no record of history prior to their rule, so that's why everybody regards them as gods.
Gods.
But there's more to the story. I can feel it in my gut.
Who gut? Friend told me to listen to my gut. Do you know what they look like?
No, we just know that they wear white and gold cloaks. This is from reliable first-hand accounts, of course. Some people have met them and lived to tell. Underneath those cloaks, however, is anyone's guess. Some people even theorize that there's nothing underneath. That's pretty scary if you ask me. They'd be like living spirits.
I don't know, they seem to be big underneath the robes. Did they make the Blade of Exodus?
I think so. As far as we know, they've had it forever. Ancient writings and murals have depicted the blade. We still don't know for sure, though. They could have found it.
I keep on asking the same questions of everybody, but somebody might say something new, you know?
What we need to worry about is the power the blade houses. It gave them the power to enslave an entire world of innocent people. We must never resort to the same thing. I want to destroy it when this is over.
Will the Blade of Exodus be enough to kill them?
I'd like to think so, yeah. It's actually a bit ironic, isn't it? Their own weapon, used against them. As soon as you learn to use it, we'll be good to go. I have no doubt in my mind that it's strong enough. You were chosen by the spirits for this destiny.
And you said no enslavement. Okay. Tell me your thoughts on our comrades.
Sure. What would you like to know?
Tell me what you think about Valencia. Valessa?
Well, I don't really know anything about her yet. But I'd like to change that if I get the opportunity.
She's mine.
I think she seems like a wonderful person.
Fun tame.
He seems really, energetic. Honestly, you'll have to ask me again in the future. We just haven't had the chance to hang out just yet.
Ulrich.
Ulrich is one of my best friends. He really is. There's no man I'd rather have at my back in battle. He saved me from dying more times than I can count. The rebellion basically hinges on my planning and his strength. He'll be at the front of every charge, I can guarantee that much. There's no man in this world quite as strong as him.
Bro.
Right now, I'm a little upset with him, but I'll manage. He's my go-to man when something involves being sneaky. His reconnaissance work has been a great boon to our efforts. I suspect that you'll be working with him closely in the future. A lot of our final attack on Balteus will involve a stealthy infiltration, but we'll get to more of that in the future, so no need to waste time on it now.
Stealthy. Me.
Well, I wouldn't know where to start. You're such an important figure to both me and my army. But to Alestia, you're going to be known as their savior.
Hopefully.
I have to admit, you're a bit different than I expected. All this stuff had me thinking you'd be larger than life. But I guess that's my fault. You're just a normal person.
Oh, so I'm short. Fun-sized. Werewolf girlfriend.
The thing that makes you special is on the inside, not the outside. I guess it just benefits us that not everybody can see that, right? We wouldn't want you to be a walking target for the enemy to find. Besides
the big blade on my back that's kinda hidden. I'd like to know more about a better plan.
Sure. Anything specific?
While we're out in the market, what's our first step when we arrive at HQ?
Well, I'll have you rest for the day. Then we'll start training you with the Blade of Exodus tomorrow. I think that slow exposure therapy will be the best possible approach. As you build a tolerance for its power, you'll be able to wield it longer. Of course, you'll also be training in the basics of swordplay. Ulrich will make sure that you learn everything you need to. We have the benefit of foresight here. We know the Triumvirate will be busy with Valinor. You can train, and we can attack Balteus right under their noses.
Do you have a detailed strategy for a final battle?
Yeah, and it's something you'll be hearing more of. We have some stuff to take care of for now. You'll get used to the war table, trust me.
It's a big table with a map. What will Alessia be like after the war's over?
Probably in chaos and disarray? We can't expect the people to embrace the new leadership, but we'll do our best to win them over and cater to their desires. Anything we can learn about the Triumvirate will also be useful. If we can prove that they're frauds, the people will accept us easier. The only question is, how in the world do we go about doing that?
Make me a god king, queen? I have a blade and stuff. I mean, everything could be fine.
Either way, we'll have lots of work ahead of us. Winning this battle doesn't mean we can sit back and rest. We'll have an entire world to rule and reform. I can't wait.
How big is this world? Because I don't know. It seems like a lot of land to control. You know, from a army of like 700 people. Do you have any idea how we can save Valinor?
You mean imbue it with spiritual energy? I'm not sure. But I wouldn't classify your nation as dead. Not just yet. The power inside of you is proof that we can redirect it. If the spirits can move power from the land to an individual, well, there's no reason to believe that the reverse isn't possible. That blade is capable of so much. I think it will be the key to all of that.
Back. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was going to be most of the Let's Play. Okay, so we can go to the mayor house, which is an important thing to do. Marching music. And this is a side quest, right? Optional side areas. Gotta do those first. Tavern. As soon as we enter the tavern, the smell of ale assaults our noses. This wasn't anything like Pellegrino. This is an entirely different level. Bottles of foreign alcohol line the shelves. I had no idea where to start looking.
Good call, Cirrus. No trip to Museo is complete without coming here. If it's time to relax for a bit, I'll just take a seat at the bar.
Gives me a sly smirk and immediately takes a seat. A bartender, who I can only describe as overwhelmed, takes his order. Pro takes a few steps forward, and afterwards takes a deep breath. Few steps forward. Oh, Pro.
You just can't beat that smell. If you need me, I'll just be checking my mail. I've been in Valinor for a while. I'd hate to miss anything.
So wait, the mail's at the pub? Down off to the corner, he starts to inspect his mailbox. Shelves with letters and numbers line the back corner of the tavern. He must pay to have anonymous addresses, or something like that.
Taverns don't really do anything for me, Cirrus. I don't mean any offense by this, but I'll be waiting outside. That's not to rush your relaxation or anything. You deserve it.
Seems really put off. With a smile, he slowly backs out of the tavern. I guess this would be a good chance to talk with Pro and Ulrich. We haven't really had enough time to get to know each other yet. Wes and Fontaine take a seat and starts talking amongst themselves. I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if we wasted a little bit of time here. Hopefully time's not crucial. Rook is chugging a large cup of ale, and Pro is carefully reading over some letters. Time to look at all the things.
You ever drink this stuff before?
Nope. He motions to the bar, gesturing broadly at everything. I've never seen any bottles of alcohol like that, so I'm totally clueless. We're in a completely different region of Valestia. It's a new thing to me.
You'll have to join me. I can pick out the good stuff. Without me, you'd just be wasting time. Half the stuff on display isn't even that good. To be honest, they keep a lot of the good stuff down there.
He points underneath the bar. I guess that made sense.
Cheers, by the way.
He holds up a glass before taking a huge swing of ale.
It just doesn't compare to what they had at Peregrino. Anyway, I'll let you take care of your business. I'm right here.
Okay, that's a thing. I examine the shelves, looking at everything of note. I don't find much, except for a piece on some current news. It couldn't hurt to get better perspective on Alessia's current state. Resting my back against the shelf, I start to read it. It seems to be about Alarinthia, Orwick's homeland. Apparently, things aren't going very well over there.
Alarinthia's civil conflict. Could the next tournament held in Alarinthia's Colosseum be the last? That's the hope of a new uprising run by a mysterious woman known only as Vivian. Wanting to change Alarinthia's form of government into something more modern, she hopes to bring peace and organization to the otherwise savage lands. While the current tribe leader of Alarinthia has always had the ability to change the rules, none have been interested in anything other than retaining their leadership and proving their strength in Alarinthia's deadly arena tournaments. If Vivian's forces were victorious, she would have the ability to completely rewrite the rules that govern Alarinthia. However, because she's approaching the upcoming tournament with brains rather than brawn, it would require a miracle to secure victory. Chances are, Alarinthia will likely remain under the grip of Dracu's strength. However, Vivian's ideals are likely to live on. Perhaps one day things will change.
Yep. Wonder who Vivi is. I could definitely side with someone like her. He thinks that Alarinthia should be more like the mainland. Okay. Yep. Seems like the same thing there.
So, you ever drink this?
Yeah. Civil conflict.
Alarinthia's civil...
Okay, table. Sorry, having a drink?
No, I'm good. There's too much to focus on.
You gotta do it sometime, you know?
Maybe after all this blows over.
That could take forever. You should take some time to unwind.
Are you getting something?
Yeah, I'm still deciding though. I don't know any of this stuff on the menu. It's like we're in a completely different world.
Didn't Ulrich have to buy you that apple earlier? Where are you getting the money to order this stuff?
Oh, good question. I'm used to the way things are in Valenorth. Almost everything is provided to us because of our roles.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you should go sweet talk Ulrich. If it's on him, maybe I'll consider trying something.
Maybe suggest holding his tool.
Sounds good. I think he likes me, so this'll be easy. Wait here. We'll try the fanciest thing on the menu. So, are you
I
having
thought
a
the door
drink?
was a thing. Okay, so there was a book. I think it was grayed on, now it isn't. Time, Yeah, we got like a minute and 30s, so that's not enough time really. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. We're going to be having heart-to-hearts with them two, maybe flirting in just a little bit. Because I find it jokingly, but also kind of trying to keep my options open. Like, I don't know. Like focusing mainly on Valencia. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So please comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the videos that have it grown. Please remember, spend your ammo to control the pit population. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. See ya.